Everyone, welcome back to my next speed build, which is really exciting because this is actually not going to be a really big speed build compared to the Shawcross Castle that I did previously before. So this is going to actually be a one part, like easy, quick video that I speed build that I made from after I did the castle. So this is actually going to be I decided that the next speed build that I was going to do for my Brindleton Bay sim world is going to be like an inn slash tavern. Which just because I thought of, because the next big step for my sim file is to basically populate more sims in Brindleton Bay sim world. So I was thinking about like, okay, well, what would be the next building that I want to build after the castle while also trying to figure out how to populate my world. Best thing would be probably to make a tavern or like an inn. So then I can like start building my sim from there and then work on them and then move them out into like whatever kind of building that I was gonna put them in. So, um, funny story actually, before I kind of get more into it. I actually so first of all, I am working on this video a little late, but I think I should be able to finish it on time so I can get this video uploaded ASAP, to be on track. But oh my goodness, funny thing that happened today, I literally woke up from not literally a really random weird way of how I woke up. I woke up from a sound of something shattered, so I woke up like I literally jumped up, sat up on my like when I heard the noise, and I was like, "Oh God!" So I literally jumped out of bed, and ran into the source of where I heard the shatter from, and I literally saw like a glass, like a ceramic bowl, shattered in half on the floor, and it's it's okay. Backing up a little bit, I actually have two cats, two buggers, basically. Um, it seems like somehow they shattered a ceramic bowl that's been on the floor with their catnip in there full of it. So I don't, the bowl was already on the floor and this never happened before, but somehow they shattered it while it's on the floor. I think they jumped on it and then it moved and it hit some things and it shattered in half. But I woke up from that sound, that shatter sound, and I was like, oh God, these fuckers, what did they do now? So I literally ran out of my bed and then checked to see if everything's okay. Luckily, nobody got hurt or anything like that. So I literally was just like, God dang it. This was 9 in the morning and I was really tired. I woke up, I needed some, like, I was gonna plan to sleep in a little bit more today and everything, but I woke up and I was just like, God dang it. So I was cleaning up, sweet, like, um, cleaning all of the shattered pieces. I mean, there wasn't really that many. There was like two big ones and then one skinny small one that I was able to get. So I vacuum clean, swept all everything up, while also it was already time for them to feed them, while also not menacingly, while also making their food, their breakfast in the morning. So I'm just like, these fuckers, like they shattered my really cute catnip bowl that I gave for them, and it was a really nice bowl too. And then it shattered in half. Now they're not gonna have a nice, pretty bowl no more. So I was just like, God dang it! So while I was making their breakfast, as I was making their breakfast, I was like, hmm. Actually, where did I get the name Bugger from in the first place? Uh, and so while I was making their breakfast, I was really in deep thought, figuring out like where did I get the word bugger from when I first had them? And I actually didn't have them that long ago. Me and my partner, we actually got them not even a full year yet. But It's just like these buggers, they're starting to become menacing. So like as like they're getting more comfortable with living with us and so I was like, these buggers, where did this word come from? And like why did I choose specifically the word bugger? And then started thinking about like, okay, I think I have an idea why I thought a bugger and I just started calling them buggers. Only whenever they become menacing, really. And it's whenever we always kind of go away to step away from our food for a little bit. We always try to cover up our food because, they're still really new to us. They still haven't really they haven't been in a forever home yet. So they're still technically strays before we took them in. And so still used to looking for food around and try to like scavenge any food that they can have for the hunger. Noting you guys, we are watching what they eat because of like health reasons. So because of that, we are watching their diet at the same time. So of course, they're obviously just food motivated kind of cats. So they're looking for food all the time. But um, but too much food is also too much too. So we're watching that. But whenever they try to look for food and become menacing kind of cats, they look for food and they would always try to like try to get into our food. And whenever we are super close to getting them, sometimes we failed to catch them on time. But we whenever we catch them, they always like look at us and then they try to like they spread out. They're like split and like try to escape from they know what they're doing is wrong. We taught them. They're pretty much at this point like they live with us long enough where it is not okay for them to steal food from our food, and they are also aware that now that food that we eat and food that they eat is different. So, and they really like our food more so than their own food. So that's something to really keep an eye on and watch out for. But I think when they get scared and when they get caught from us, like doing something menacing or when they feel guilty, they always run away and scatter like small bugs when they see something super big and scary, and they kind of scatter and split apart to like their own survival. I think that was where I got the word bugger from, where they kind of spread away, like bugs whenever they get really scared. And I'm just like, that's kind of funny. As I was making their breakfast and I was feeding them. So that happened that morning. It was pretty hectic, but you know what? It's fine. I had to wake up in the morning and start my day and work on some things. Oh, but God, today was a really, really hard for me to. It was a little hard for me to be productive today. I don't know what it is. If it's just like just today where the weather was just so nice and so comfortable, or the apartment is just so cozy, but all day today I was just napping and sleeping. It was just so cozy. Like I had a full meal and I was so stuffed like during lunchtime, and I think we had like a really late lunch. We had lunch like I believe like 1:30 or 2 or something like that. And oh my God, we ate so much. Me and my partner ate so much where we were so stuffed, we were so tired, and we got so sleepy. I at least got a little sleepy, so I took a small nap. Actually, I took two naps. I took a nap before the food came for lunch, and I took a nap a little bit after I finished the food. It was just so tired. I was just so tired today, but I knew I had a lot of stuff that I needed to get done today. But it was just like I gotta get this video, I gotta get this voiceover done, I gotta like get all like this video up, and I gotta do more things around like I had a lot of things to do today, but I was just so tired. The weather was just so nice for a really good nap under the sun, and it was just really nice. So I basically took a nap all day today, and I woke up and it was literally 7 o'clock p.m. and I was like, God dang it, is it time for dinner time? But I'm still really full from lunchtime. But Anyways, that is today. It is really close to the evening, and I don't normally do a voiceover during the evening just because it is towards the end of the day, and I'm not just as motivated and as energetic towards the end of the day, but need to get this video done ASAP, so I'm trying to get this cramped in as much as possible and get it done. But that's why my day today started pretty late today. But we're gonna push through and just keep going. So in the meantime, that's pretty much like a good like thing about my daily day, I guess. But let's just go back to the bill, shall we? So just to kind of speed things up, since it's already been like rambling on for like a good 10 minutes of the video, not really talking so much of the speed build as it is. But so this tavern, the I would say like the inspiration image that I pulled up for this time, it looked like originally at first I started with the square because the angle of where this image I was referencing from, it seemed like it was at like a more not completely front uh viewpoint point of view of the building. Seems like it was more of like a 45-degree angle view of the building. But when I was looking at the reference image, it also looked like there was like another building behind it. So I was like, interesting. Well, I don't want to choose another reference. I really like this reference. So I'm just going to do my best to try to see what it is. So I did it. I basically ended up splitting the building into two and decided that that would be a really cool idea to make it really more home, very more homey, and really just feel like the tavern is separated from the person that's owning the tavern. So I made two buildings. The first building, which is like the front part of the building, is the tavern itself. So when you enter, there's actually going to be like a lounging area, and there's going to be a bar, pretending to be a bar. Pretend that this is actually a community lot when really it's actually a residential lot, turning into make it looking like it's a community lot. So the first floor of the tavern building is the lounge slash bar or like the pub area where people can come in and just kind of like ask for drinks and just hang out, play some darts or play some llama table. You know, I haven't really interact that much with that llama kind of board game or like don't wake the llama. I only just started interacting with that item when I built this lot and I thought that was such a like a cute item that they have in the game as just like a really fun activity for them as like a group activity. So I added that as well too. And again, forgot that it we also need to have some fireplaces because you know it's a Isekai Fantasy sim world. Not a lot of electricity, maybe more so. Eh, maybe, oh Lord, not so sure. Still thinking about it. Where they will use maybe crystal items, magical stones to amplify and like power up a lot of their appliances or any electronic stuff that they might have grabbed from the human world. But I kind of feel like I have to put up like what my sim file is going to be all about, which I technically did. I started like a Patreon just to kind of put all of my creations on there, but like that's only just one of my social medias that I have to put all my creation stuff. There's like I have other social medias too, but I feel like maybe I should have just a community post or somewhere dedicated to just to say that this is my save file, which actually I kind of technically did that on my Patreon, so maybe I don't have to do that. So if any of you guys are interested in what my save file is, I can just link you guys to my Patreon in the description down below so you guys can have a better idea since I did kind of type it up already. You know what? I think I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna do that. I will send a link. I'll put a link in my description of all my social medias of where you can get all my things. I guess I'm just gonna have to keep doing that for every single videos anyway. So it's gonna be like a stamp of a copy and paste for every video of all my social media tags. Is that what they call it? Or is it social media outlines? I don't know what it's called, but I'll have a link to all of that for you guys down in the description below. But going back to the speed video. So below, back again, is the lounging slash bar area, like the pub section. And the first floor there is also, which I'm currently technically working on right now. I literally just got all the exterior really nice and pretty, and I was really satisfied with mostly the exterior. So tavern. Yes, tavern building. First floor, pub and lounging. There's also gonna be the community kitchen that the people that is staying in the tavern can use on their daily basis. And there's also gonna be a community, like a shared, not a shared. I wouldn't really say a shared a community. I guess it's more of a community bathroom. It's more, it actually has like only two toilet stalls and three shower heads for, people staying in a tavern to like wash up and get ready. So it's technically like a shared. So they all actually have to get out of the tavern building and then walk to a separate side door for them to get into to wash up and all this stuff. Which I kind of imagine what it was kind of gonna be like back in the day or like in medieval time. Like sometimes some of the bathrooms are not always in the actual unit itself. They sometimes just have like a door on the side. Plus, also, I wanted to make this lot to be feel more like a community lot, even though it's a residential lot. And so I thought that having just more doors on the side, just have more access to certain parts of the building would make it feel like it's a community lot. And I think I did like a good job on that. I think it really does feel like it's a community meal, especially when I'm really put like that well in the middle of that mini plaza that they had in the back of the building. But yeah, so first floor of the tavern is a lot of the community stuff that like people that's staying in the tavern, the guests that's staying in the tavern will use. And the second floor is like more, they have like a hallway space for them to play chess in that area, and they have two rooms split for two people to stay in this tavern. So this tavern is not a big tavern, it's actually quite small. It's family owned. Um, well, trying to be a family owned. It's a really small one. It's owned by like a mother, aspiring kind of actress. Um, didn't really do so well because she was a struggling actress at the beginning, but then she had her baby, and this and unfortunately had to give up her dream becoming like an aspiring actress to take care of her child. So that's when decided to own this lot and have a tavern so that way she can have some sole income coming in while she takes care of her daughter. And at this point, her daughter now is an adult, a young adult, grown up. So now that she is grown up, she actually had is the daughter is actually aspiring to be an educator, a teacher in this world. I haven't really decided on what class level her daughter is going to be. To me, for some reason, I imagine her to be a teacher that's teaching the kids in poverty, more in poverty, but in like the peasant level that where they're not making so much income. So I think in my head, I imagine this household to be more on the peasant level where they don't make that much income. They're just struggling on financially, but like they're doing okay. They're not like dying of need, you know. They're not doing so bad, especially when she is already a teacher. I worked on her for a bit, and I think I'm actually really happy with where she is currently right now in her sim life. So I felt complete when I played her. So right now she's basically just like a teacher that's teaching in the village or there's in town in Brindleton Bay currently right now. So I this is how I this is actually how I am slowly making my sims and filling the population in Brindleton Bay. So That's where, oops, sorry, I keep hitting you guys on the mic, but that is, this is like my newest, like most recent, not my most recent set. Like I've basically played them and I'm really happy with this household. So at that point, I not only played the daughter, but I also played the mother as well too. I didn't really know what kind of career to put her to kind of make it feel like she is like the owner of the tavern. And I was CC to see if there is like any job, like any career that's like owns a tavern. There isn't really. So I'm like thinking about if I should even make like a sim career just for like owning a tavern, just for the title of the career itself. And the only closest thing that I ever found is like restaurant waiter or waitress. And I was like, that's kind of close, but it's not really close. Maybe I'll think about it. I'm gonna think about it on if I want to make a tavern owner career for my save file. I actually made like another. I actually made a custom like sim career for my save file, because I was also like aware there isn't a royal chef sim career in like when I was looking online. I couldn't find it anywhere. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make my own. So I made my own. So I did actually. And actually in the next video after the speed video, we're actually gonna take a small break from the speed video that I made, and I'm actually gonna post a upcoming new video that while I'm creating this um like the sim career. And I think that's a really good fun. I thought it would be a really fun video to make since it's literally just me trying to figure out how to make a sim career and doing it from start to scratch, since I was trying to figure out if there is a tutorial, any kind of tutorial to like make a sim career, just a simple sim career where there's not like an active career where like your sim is following, just a very simple one. And there is one, and I thought that it was going to be I found a really easy video that's like within like 10 minutes for me to learn, and I was watching it, I was like, oh, this is so easy. So I watched it and then I was following it at the same time. Not that easy. It actually took a lot longer than I thought. Because first of all, I'm not so familiar. I don't have a lot of experience with coding. And then two, I'm also not familiar with this software that they use to make the Sims career as well too. And so I was like, ooh, this is definitely an area that I'm not familiar with, and I have a lot of trials and errors. So it literally took a lot longer than I thought, but I ended up finishing it, and I'm actually really happy with it. So right now, currently, I am actually making a sim that's aiming to, well, currently before I made the royalty chef career, I had my sim become just like the default chef career that came with just the sim game itself, and which I thought was fine. It was fine, but I wanted to have like specifically the title royal chef in their career, that specific title, which is why I ended up making like my own sim career in that case. So I decided, so when I did, so stuttering everywhere. So I ended up, so after I finally finished my royal chef career, I decided, I was like, well, I'm sure I wouldn't be the only person that's going to be struggling on like maybe wanting to make like a sim career. So I thought maybe even just making that from someone that literally had to figure it out from start to finish with no coding experience whatsoever, figuring it out. I thought it would be fun to just watch me struggle as I try to figure it out. I mean, like, there's an audience for that, and making a fool of myself, and I don't mind that. Especially when it's to me in like from my perspective, it's like a learning process for me. So maybe I'm yeah, so I was thinking about making a video for that and I thought it'd be fun. So maybe look forward to that in the next coming feature when that video is up and ready to go. So yeah. So going back into the speed build, it looks like I am for now furnishing the pub part of the tavern. And I believe I finished describing the whole building of the tavern of what it is in there. So we're gonna move on to, I will walk. Actually, you know what? I'll talk about the furnishings of the tavern's owner's building when we get to that part, but let's just enjoy the speed build at this point, shall we? So this is what I mean by this area is like the lounge part and the pub part of the tavern. So it's supposed to be like kind of cozy where like the tavern owner, what the mom basically, she found all of these knickknacks on the streets and they're still like in good quality. Like for example, that coffee table that's just like a box from maybe she grabbed from the harbor and was like, oh, hey, this is really nice. Why not did I just DIY it or refurbish it as like a coffee table for my tavern? So she brought it here and she made it work. So that was kind of the vibe that I was feeling for this kind of pub where it's super homey and it might not be like the greatest pub, but it's super homey, very comfortable for like maybe small regulars that want to just come by after work and just want to just relax and like de-stress before they go back home. Like this is the kind of vibe that I was thinking for this tavern where it's cozy, comfortable for you to just de-stress, not a very popular kind of pub for a whole bunch of new customers to be like, oh my god, this is the new area, let's hang out here. Like this is no, this is like the place where travelers stop by like when they enter this new like when they enter Brindleton Bay and they're they're traveling and they need a place to stay for the next couple of days before they like get back up and then travel to the next town. This is the tavern for this. Not one of the taverns, one of the most smaller ones well known, but still very comfortable and very welcoming. And this is literally going to be the pub area location for, Sims that are being isekai to this fantasy world. That would be like a really nice idea, wouldn't it? Which is technically what I am treating this area, this lot is where I make new Sims that I want to populate in Brindleton Bay. I first start off here where after I cast them, I have them live into one of the rental um taverns unit that she is renting out. So technically this lot you will need rent you do need for rent because I did make treat this as she is renting out the rooms for travelers that are staying during that time. So um that is definitely gonna be a downfall if that is definitely like a need for this lot for rent specifically, just for that like specific game feature to make rooms into units or rental units. But technically, you don't really necessarily have to have it as a rental unit. You can just kind of just treat it as like another big room. So I am gonna be posting this lot with furnishings and without furnishing, just to make it easier for anybody that wants to have it. Um, like if they don't have every single one of the expansion packs that I do. Just a disclaimer, I also don't have every single expansion pack as well too. There's some things that I wish I could have like Horse Ranch. I I actually really like that like expansion pack just because it introduces the horses. But at the time when it was coming out, I was not ready with new animals like being added into my save file, specifically horses. And I was already at that point, I was trying to get used to cottage living at that part, and I'm not even fully familiar with all the gameplay that. And then now that we have like an even bigger farm for not only horses but then goats and sheep as well too, and I'm just like, oh my God, I really wish I could, and I so want it so badly. But again, I'm just not ready. Plus, also it includes like a new sim world, Chestnut. Um, I forgot what was the name of the world, but it's like Chestnut something. I love chestnuts, but like just the name of it, I love it so much and I really want it. So that's definitely gonna be one of the expansion packs I really want to have soon. Once I have once I'm like actually ready to get more expansion packs for my save file. But that not only is it the horses that I want from Horse Ranch that would make this specific build really nice and pretty, but just the upcoming builds is the ceiling. I believe like it includes where you can decorate the ceilings now, and I'm just like, that's definitely would be a big game changer when I am doing my speed builds because I actually really like to look up at the ceiling and then see the view of the castles that I make. And then there's like just like this like slate white color ceiling that just throws off the whole entire vibe, like specifically like the castle. So that is the downfall of when I'm making like a really big, pretty speed build, and then when I take like screenshots of like the lots that I did, it kind of shows the just that white ceiling. But you know what? I just gotta just not think of it so much and just kind of just keep going forward. Like it doesn't matter. I still think the I still think the lot still looks really pretty in the end. But oh yeah, we're going back to like the owner's building now. So now the building so as soon as you enter the Tavern's property building, it's it's kind of like a loft kind of style in some way. So there's like a platform foundation that you're going to be on as soon as you enter. And it steps down into the main part of the living space area, which is has like the living it has a living room with the fireplace in the front. Oh, super cozy. And then there's also like a really small, like half of the room is the kitchen part. It's really small, but still very like fitting for just two Sims, like a mom and a daughter staying there and just having like their own small personal kitchen instead of them having to use a tavern kitchen all the time. Although I keep seeing them use the tavern kitchen all the time, even though they do have their own kitchen. But you know what? That could just be part of the game feature that I just cannot ignore. It is what it is. It's just gonna have to be that way. But I also added like a really small dining area for the two of them to just have their own small meals. Like at the end of the day, they kind of meet up and then they like eat dinner and then they kind of talk about their day, see how they're doing, what they've been up to, all of that shenanigan stuff. And so I also it seems like I'm kind of like going back and forth between. Oh, this is when I realized I forgot that I do almost every single room will need to have a fireplace to keep them all warm during the winter season. Especially since I was trying to figure out if they have like a more fantasy, not so modern looking fire alarms, and they just all just look so modern that it's hard for me to even try to download something that would maybe look like it could. But maybe we'll see. Maybe I'm just not looking hard enough. Maybe I just have to just keep looking. Or who knows, maybe I might make another CC that's specifically for that. I don't know yet. I just gotta keep looking, keep like thinking, brainstorming maybe, or just see if I'm that determined to want to make another CC for that after the sim career that I made. But anyways, right now I'm working on the small cozy nick part of down of their living space area. I decided to add like a small cute art accent armchair in their living space area. Just kind of treat it as like a small sitting area for you to read a book if you by the end of the day. But I tried to I was thinking about like what the color of this household is gonna be, and you know what? there I decided to just make the mom be more of like that dark navy blue kind of royal blue, but like super dark navy blue color. And the daughter's color, okay, what I mean by like what colors that represent the family, it really is just by their favorite color randomized. And when I was randomizing their color that they like, the mom really likes like navy, just blue. So I decided to give her the dark blue color. Like she likes dark navy blue specifically, but it's still in the blue color range. So both blue, you know. And then for the daughter, her random favorite color is gray. And so I was like, all right, okay. Do I have enough gray colors in my wardrobe or any enough CCs in there? So thank goodness I have enough. But when I was going through it, I was like, oh, I realized I don't have enough CCs for my medieval slash fantasy save file in general. So after I made I like cast her, I realized I went to more CC shopping to find more like clothes that represent them like in different maybe in different eras, and then maybe I'll combine it together and then try to figure it out to see if it works. But I think I mentioned it in the past part videos or so, but I mentioned that there isn't really a specific time period for my save file. I did mention that it's mostly more towards the Edwardian era, which I think is still gonna be in the Edwardian era. But I was looking at different clothing designs of during that time, and when I was doing my research, it's really just through all my manhwa, going through all my manhwa stories and really just seeing what kind of dresses and attires that they were all wearing during that time. And I think a lot of the manhwas that I was reading was mostly in the Edwardian time period era anyway. So I was looking through clothes or apparel inspirations through the manhwas, and it seems like there's a big different ranges of specifically the gowns and dresses in the Edwardian period where the clothes, like for example, the skirt part of the dress or gown or so in the Edwardian period, most of the time the Edwardian period is more tight, not so tight fitted, but it's more the skirts is just straight down, kind of like a sheath kind of style, or it's more of a trumpet style where it kind of like hugs around your hips and then flares out like a trumpet. But at the same time, I also saw some gowns, some dresses and gowns that literally just looks like a gown. So I'm just thinking about like, does that mean that maybe they only wear gowns when it's like big special occasions or grand balls or so? And they just only wear those like really sheath or straight down skirts or dresses for just casual times, not really so formal. No, but maybe I would just combine them both, and it would just depend on the sim themselves, like their personality, based on the random traits that I will be giving them or whatever image that I have for the sim, and then create it that way and then see from there. Because I honestly don't really mind mixing in different time periods to just make a good representation of my save file. Plus, this is my save file. Like, it's my save file. I can do whatever I want in my save file. So I feel like maybe this will. I think I just gotta play around on mixing and matching and to see what will work based on the sim. I'm not even gonna focus so much on the time period. I feel like if I think about the time period so much, it just limits me so much on the clothes and apparels that I can dress for my Sims. And I don't want to restrict myself. I want to like kind of like create my Sims based on how I feel and based on what I have. And if I don't have it, I'll find it, and if not, I will make it happen. Some way somehow like that, I guess. But here we are, all slowly finishing up on the build. But oh my god, I guess I didn't really finish talking about like the tavern's owners like building. But basically, the first floor where we saw that it's like the loft where it dips down into more the living space slash kitchen area. But on that platform, there's that same level floor, or like the first floor basically of that building is also going to be the daughter's bedroom small, which is why I'm not imagining her being here for that long. And there's also they also have like a bathroom where they had to leave outside the building and then go use it as well too. And then the second floor is completely just the mom's private area for her, since it's a lot more open space, but that's basically her personal space. But here are all the screenshots of the build that I did. You can kind of see what I mean by like the ceiling is just pure white when I really wanted to decorate it with something to just kind of like bring it all together, but I did the best I could on all these screenshots. I have like I think I don't know if it's just me, but I think I'm getting a little bit of a I am getting slowly better at doing these screenshots at different angles. I'm getting a little bit more familiar with how to use like the Sims cameras here and there. But these are all the screenshots of the different times of days of the slot. But that's it for the video. I'll see you guys in the next time. Oh, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!